Hello and welcome to Quinn Timeless Tales. Every story we share explores a single, pivotal moment, a crossroads where a split-second decision can unravel a life or weave a new destiny. Tonight's tale begins on a dark highway, with the shriek of twisted metal and a choice to keep driving or to run toward the flames. It's a story about how a single act of courage can ignite a dangerous conspiracy, and how in the face of death, two strangers can find a reason to live and to love. So settle in and let's begin. The twisted metal screamed as it scraped against asphalt, sparks flying like angry fireflies in the darkness. Ryan Cole gripped his steering wheel, watching in horror as the black luxury sedan ahead of him suddenly jerked to the right. The car flew off the highway, tumbling down a rocky embankment before slamming into a cluster of trees with a sickening crunch. Then came the orange glow, flames licking at the crumpled hood, growing bigger by the second. Most people would have called 911 and waited. Ryan wasn't most people. He yanked his Honda to the shoulder, grabbing a tactical knife from his glove compartment and a small fire extinguisher from his trunk. His heart hammered against his ribs as he scrambled down the slope. The heat hit his face like a slap. Through the spider-webbed windshield, he could see a woman slumped over the steering wheel, unmoving. "Hey!" He pounded on the driver's side window. "Can you hear me?" Nothing. The flames were spreading. Ryan didn't hesitate. He drove his elbow into the window, ignoring the sharp pain as glass shattered. The door was jammed. He ran to the passenger side, praying it would open. It did. Ryan crawled across the seat, his lungs burning from the smoke. The woman was unconscious, her breathing shallow. He sawed at her seat belt with his knife. The belt snapped free, and he hooked his arms under her shoulders, pulling. She was dead weight, and his muscles strained as he dragged her free of the car. He had pulled her 50 feet away when the gas tank exploded, the force knocking them both to the ground. He threw himself over her, shielding her body with his as debris rained down. They were alive. For a moment, they lay there in the dirt, his face pressed against her chest, feeling the steady rise and fall of her breathing. Then she stirred, a soft groan escaping her lips. "Hey!" he said softly, pulling back. Her eyes fluttered open, unfocused and confused. "You're okay. You were in an accident, but you're okay." She blinked up at him, her gaze struggling to focus. When she spoke, her voice was a hoarse whisper. It wasn't an accident." "What?" Ryan leaned closer. "Alex did this?" she mumbled, her head falling back against the ground. "Alex wanted me dead." Before he could ask more, the sound of sirens filled the air. Help was here. But as Ryan looked at the woman he just saved, her words echoed in his mind. He thought he was saving someone from a crash. But if she was telling the truth, he'd just saved someone from murder. An hour later, Ryan found himself at St. Mary's Hospital. He told himself he just wanted to make sure the woman was all right, but he knew it was more than that. Her words had hooked something inside him, the same instinct that made him an excellent forensic data analyst. There was a puzzle here and he needed to solve it. He found her in room 12. She was sitting up in bed, a bandage on her forehead. When she saw him, her face lit up with recognition. "You're the man who saved me." "I'm Ryan Cole," he said. "How are you feeling?" "Like I got hit by a truck," she said with a weak smile. "But alive thanks to you. I'm Erica Lockach." The name was familiar. She was the CEO of Lockach Technologies, a major financial software company. "Do you remember what happened?" he asked gently. Her expression darkened. "I remember everything. The brakes failed. But it wasn't a malfunction. It was my business partner, Alex Martinez. I found irregularities in our financial records, millions of dollars missing. When I confronted him, he got angry. After tonight, I'm certain he tried to kill me to keep me quiet." Ryan felt his pulse quicken. This was his world: financial fraud, hidden numbers, digital breadcrumbs. "What are you going to do?" "I don't know," she admitted. "I can't prove the car was sabotaged. The police will think I'm paranoid." Ryan made a decision that would change both their lives. "I might be able to help. I'm a forensic data analyst." If Alex is embezzling money, I can find the evidence. Erica stared at him. You don't even know me. Why would you get involved? He thought of his own past, of a time he'd felt helpless against violence. Because someone tried to kill you, he said simply. And because I have the skills to help you prove it. Over the next few days, they formed an unlikely team. Ryan, posing as a consultant, gained access to Lock Technology's servers. Erica, putting on a brave face, returned to the office, carefully watching her partner, Alex. They worked late into the night in Erica's apartment, piecing together the puzzle. Ryan's expertise and Erica's intimate knowledge of the company were a perfect match. He found what Alex had tried so hard to hide. A web of fake companies, offshore accounts, and a pattern of theft totaling over $6 million. The money trail led to a company called the Patterson Group, the very firm that was pushing to acquire Lock Technologies. He's not just stealing, Ryan explained, pointing to his screen. He's systematically devaluing the company to force a sale, planning to profit on both ends. We have to go to the board, Erica said, her voice firm. We have to expose him. Their chance came sooner than they expected. Alex called an emergency board meeting, planning to frame Erica for the very crimes he'd committed. But they were ready for him. In the sterile conference room, Alex presented a polished, convincing case against Erica, complete with doctored records. The board members looked at Erica with suspicion. Then she stood up. That's an interesting theory, Alex, she said calmly. But I think the board deserves the whole story. Ryan stepped forward and connected his laptop to the projector. One by one, he laid out the undeniable evidence. The real financial records, the deleted emails he'd recovered, and the server logs showing Alex's frantic attempts to alter documents just that morning. The actual amount stolen is over $6 million, Ryan concluded. And the evidence points directly to Mr. Martinez. Alex's face went pale. This is fabricated. She's trying to frame me. Then explain this, Alex, Erica said, her voice ringing with anger. The car accident. It wasn't an accident, was it? You tried to kill me. The room erupted. Alex, cornered and panicked, grabbed his laptop and ran for the door. You have no idea what you're interfering with, he shouted before disappearing. This is bigger than just me. His warning proved true. That evening, a desperate Alex called Erica. He told them he was being controlled by the real criminals behind the Patterson Group, a ruthless loan shark organization led by a man named Vincent Caruso. They were the ones who ordered the hit. They'll kill us all, Alex pleaded. Meet me. I can give you everything I have on them. The meeting was a trap, but not one set by Alex. As they met in a desolate warehouse, they were ambushed by Caruso's men. A chaotic chase ended with the police, led by the sharp-eyed Detective Santos, arriving just in time. Alex, injured but alive, agreed to turn state's evidence. They had exposed the embezzlement, but in doing so, they had made an enemy of a far more dangerous man. Their victory was short-lived. Caruso, using his vast connections, kidnapped Ryan to use as leverage against Erica. His demand was simple: come to Pier 47, alone, or he dies. Erica refused to be a pawn. Working with Detective Santos, she agreed to the meeting, but on their terms. She would wear a wire, and a team of snipers would be in position, waiting for an opportunity. That night, Erica walked the length of the dark, weathered pier. Caruso was waiting, flanked by 2 armed thugs, with Ryan held between them, his hands bound. Ms. Lockach, Caruso said with a smug smile. I'm glad you came to your senses. Let him go, Caruso. This is between you and me. It is. But you see, I have a reputation to maintain. You've become a problem. You and your hero here. After you sign over your company, you'll both have a little accident. He was confessing to everything, confident his power made him untouchable. I'm not signing anything until I know he's okay, Erica bluffed, her heart pounding. Her only goal was to create a distraction. Caruso, arrogant, ordered his men to shove Ryan forward. See? He's fine. For now. As Ryan stumbled, he caught Erica's eye. She saw a flicker of the same defiant fire she felt in her own chest. She knew what she had to do. "You know, Caruso," she said, taking a step closer. "You forgot one thing." "And what's that?" he sneered. "You're not the only one who can set a trap." With that, she lunged sideways, tackling one of the thugs. The move was so unexpected it threw the entire scene into chaos. It was the opening the police needed. The night exploded with disciplined gunfire. Ryan used the confusion to break free from his captor, disarming him with a brutal efficiency that surprised even himself. Caruso, enraged, raised his weapon to fire at Erica, but a single shot from a police sniper sent the gun clattering to the pier. Within seconds, it was over. Caruso and his men were in custody. Their reign of terror ended. Weeks later, the dust had settled. Lockach Technologies was on the road to recovery, and the FBI was dismantling Caruso's criminal empire using the evidence Erica and Ryan had provided. One afternoon, they stood in Erica's office, the city skyline stretching out before them. The danger had passed, leaving behind a bond forged in fire and trust. "Head of Security and Internal Affairs," Erica said, repeating her job offer. "Full partnership. I can't imagine running this company without you." "I'm interested," Ryan said with a slow smile. "But I have one condition." "What's that?" "I want you to take me to dinner. Somewhere nice, where no one is shooting at us." Erica laughed, a sound that was full and genuine. "That can be arranged." She paused, then took a small box from her desk drawer. "And Ryan, I was thinking we could start with this." She opened it. Inside was a simple, elegant ring. She dropped to one knee. "You saved my life, Ryan Cole. You showed me what it means to trust again. Will you marry me?" He stared at her, tears welling in his eyes, before pulling her to her feet and into his arms. "Yes," he whispered. "Of course, yes." They were no longer just two strangers who met in the wreckage of a crime. They were partners, survivors, and the architects of a future they would build together. A future that began not with an ending, but with a choice made on a dark highway. In the end, a story is a collection of choices. The choice to stop, the choice to help, the choice to trust, to fight, and to love. Ryan and Erica's story began with a scream of twisted metal, but it was forged in the quiet moments of courage that followed. They prove that sometimes, the most timeless tales aren't about the dangers we face, but about the person we choose to face them with. Thank you for joining us on Quinn Timeless Tales. Until our next story, remember that the greatest tales are the ones we choose to live.